Welcome to this edition of Mindset Profits. I know you have heard it said that your health is your wealth. And today I am joined by a doctor, an award-winning doctor, Dr. Pru Buthelezi, who is ready to drop some serious value on that statement. Because a lot of times we go chasing after our dreams, we go after our goals, and we forget to take care of ourselves. By 40, by 50, you've made the money, but now all that money is going back to treat yourself, to treat all the ailments you've built, to treat the stress and the depression you've built up along the way because your health was not taken care of. But we'll do a bit more than just talk about your physical health because she is the author of a book called Fortitude. We want to talk about mental fortitude. Welcome, Dr. Pru.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me to Mindset Podcast.
I am honored to have an award-winning doctor joining me today. Hey? And thank you for hosting us in your beautiful home.
I thank you
You,
because otherwise I was supposed to travel all the way to Johannesburg, but you decided to come over to me. So
talk to us. Talk. What's the inspiration behind your book?
the inspiration, fortitude, it's having courage when in adversity, having courage when you are in pain. For me to write the book, it was from my sister who was hit by the car in 1985 at the age of 9 years.
Okay.
And then she became quadriplegic, unable to talk and to walk. And by that time, she was doing already grade 1, and she already had a dream of becoming a doctor. Unfortunately, when the accident happened, it also damaged her brain. So she couldn't continue with her dreams. So even in that,
How far back was this?
1985,
Oh,
yes, now she's 48.
okay.
Yes, she's 48, and she's the one who was emphasizing to me to write this book as she wanted to be a doctor. So she always said that this book is her MPCHB. This book is the way of her to heal people.
I've heard you talk about it, and you said it's about turning your pain into profit.
Pain to a
Purpose.
Yes,
Hey, I
pain.
have too much profit.
You love money. You turn your pain into a purpose. You turn your misfortune to a fortune.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So she inspires you to write this book. And what was the intention on her part?
To heal parents who are going through this phase where they are raising children with special needs, children with disabilities, and also people with disabilities themselves, how to accept and how to cope in life. So it's all about that. So it's more about people with disabilities and especially parents, because I myself, growing up, watching my mom and my dad raising her with difficulties there and there, unable to cope because we're 5 of us children.
Okay.
And then I personally felt like, no, they were paying attention to her, not understanding, because we've never went to the psychologist as a whole family, that now there's a change with your sister,
Or
So
because you're both children and you're feeling like this
we are
one is
neglected.
receiving, the
That's,
love is
yes,
going.
the whole love, there's attention, there are cars that they are coming, they pick her with mom, not knowing that that car that was coming, they were taking her to the physiotherapist, occupational therapist, and all those things. That's why I'm saying that there was no information to us that this is the change and this is what is happening. So you just see, oh, it's like they love her. Every time there's a car that comes in, they took her, they go. And during our times, especially at home, there was no car. So you would want to also to climb in that car, only to find that, no, not for you. The car is for her. So you see. So I also wanted to encourage parents that if you are raising a child with special need, with disabilities, don't forget the other kids around.
It's a
Involve them.
beautiful lesson. And I also think about the kids because I think what you bring out is that kids don't know how to process what's going on.
Yes.
And
So
for them,
it's about that
kubangati,
in the
it's
book.
the attention going one direction.
Yes, that's why you even see a child when you give birth to a child who's 3 years old, and then boom, soon, less than 2 years, you are pregnant again.
Yeah.
That one already, even when he has started to walk, he will deteriorate and start to crawl and start to behave like a baby. Why? So that you can pick him up. Because every time you are with this new one.
The new one.
Yes, so it's important that you don't forget to pay also attention to the other kids.
So you're saying the progress that a child is making can regress.
It can regress.
Is that a medical condition?
Yes.
You're scaring us now.
It's there. You'll see a child who already started walking, started to do things, but because you don't pay attention, every time she see you, you are picking only this one, the young one. Then she also feel like I'm neglected. Then she start also crying, don't want to do things for himself, and then she will also now want that attention you are giving to the little one that you are always carrying.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's a scary thought as
So
parents.
it's what we call regression of milestone.
Also, it's a thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So beautiful that you then write the book and it's clear who it's going to be helping.
Yes.
When you were going through it, when you were looking at your parents, what are some of the challenges that you feel you saw them get past?
My mom, because she was working, she had to cancel at work and be unemployed, because taking care of a child with special need is a 24/7 thing, and it's draining emotionally, physically, and financially. So what I saw with my mom is that she had to leave work because now there's this quadriplegic child at home who needs the whole attention, because she was supposed to take her to physiotherapist, occupational, isn't it? They were preparing for RAF. So she had to go all those things, and then the doctors and the physios, speech therapists, they needed to compile a full report, medical report. And I remember when she told us that all doctors, they said she will never walk again, she will never talk again. And then, but through continuing with speech therapists, that's what I also highlight in the book, that whenever you give birth to that special child, whether it's a cerebral palsy or what, please take them to occupational therapists, speech therapists, because the end results of them is very, very good. You know, from not talking, we can communicate with her now, even if it's not a clear speech like us, but she is talking.
There
She
was progress.
Yes, she was not walking at all, but now she walks. When you see her coming, you'll think it's somebody who had a stroke. So that's what I highlight, especially us as blacks. We don't know the use of speech therapists, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, biokinetics, all those people. So in the book, I highlight their
importance
effect.
and their
Yes.
role. And one of the things that I think I've heard you say, I've actually heard many people say, when there is a challenge with a child like that, with Bamloile, this must be witchcraft.
Exactly,
And
and
people
then to
go to
start to hide
prophets
them.
and don't go to hospitals.
And start to hide them in the house, not want people to know about them because uloyiwe. No, so I want to take out that myth. There is autism. So I think I talk about different kind of neurodevelopmental disorders. Autism, what is it? Cerebral palsy, what is it? ADHD. Okay, let's come to me now on my story personal. My firstborn,
Yeah.
he was born with ADHD, and he was diagnosed at the age of 3 years. So at the age of 3 years, he couldn't say sentences. Mama, I want food. No, he couldn't. He would just say mama. Then the teachers, they called me and said, no, there's a problem here. We think you need to take your son to the doctor. I am a doctor, but I couldn't diagnose my son. Then indeed, I took him to Dr. Potter, and Dr. Potter assessed him, and he said he has ADHD. I'm a doctor, and I've been seeing many parents in my practice diagnosing their children with ADHD, with autism, and so on. but I couldn't accept it. I was depressed when I found out that my son has ADHD. But we started with speech therapist because he couldn't talk. Speech therapist, occupational therapist. That's when I even saw the importance that the occupational therapist they played in his life. When they were doing some mental things for him to understand why 1 + 1 is 2. I saw there that the occupational therapists, they are playing a major role that I didn't even know as a doctor. Then she started to improve indeed. Speech came, now started to talk with sentences at the age of 5 now, 5 to 6. He started to say, Mommy, I want food, sentences. And then he improved. Now at school, you know, a child, when he's turning 6, he's supposed to start grade 1. I was told my son cannot start grade 1. He must repeat grade R.
Repeat crash.
Repeat crashed, yeah. And, you know, I was like, I couldn't understand. How do you repeat a crash? It took me back to depression again. I had to attend a psychologist. I had to attend Miranda Manzini to accept, okay, this is the condition. This is serious now.
Because you're also a doctor, and I'm sure a part of you is saying this is a child of a doctor, so there must be alignment somewhere.
So I did attend a psychologist, and slowly I could accept that, okay, he has ADHD, and then, okay. But I also, because I had denial, I took him to the pastors to pray for him.
Okay.
Yes, I did took him to the pastors to pray for him. I think maybe I was thinking that there's a demon that is going through him. And then later on, no, they called me again.
Wait, I'm curious, how long was this phase of going around?
I think during that time when they called me at school, I went, and then they said he must repeat grade R. And I couldn't interpret that. How do you repeat crash? Is it that slow that, you know? And then, yeah, so from that moment, then I went to depression. And yeah, I couldn't cope at all. Then I could see that even my mom, that means that's what she was going through.
Okay.
Even she couldn't verbalize it. But then I could see that that's why she ended up being diabetic, hypertensive, and the complication of diabetes, and then she died in 2012.
I think there's value there in what you are going through and reflecting and realizing that's actually what my mom was going through. What advice do you have for someone who's having a child with special needs and they're not aware that the way they are processing it is doing more harm to themselves?
What I will say is that go and look for help. Go to the psychologist. They will help you mentally to be ready. Because, you know, Dando, when you are pregnant, you already fantasize about this child.
Yeah.
You already have big dreams. You see the child already in matric dance, preparing the matric dance. You are seeing yourself graduating, attending the graduate of your child. Then, boom, there's a child who has hydrocephalus, he cannot go to school. So you have to go and bury that child that you have. Bury that child that you have mentally. And start to concentrate to the one that is in front of you. And believe that God didn't give you this yoke to carry it alone. He will carry it with you. Just by accepting that the child, then now what you do, you start to focus on looking for the real help of the child. Because when I was busy going to church, I was delaying the process of starting with speech therapist. I was delaying the process of starting with occupational. I'm going to church, I'm depressing, and so on. So by doing that, you are delaying the real management of the child that is in front of you. But immediately you accept, you start to know, okay, it's ADHD, what do I need? It's Ritalin, you start Ritalin, the medication, occupational therapist, you just take the child there. The progress, you also see it. 3 years, he was not talking. 5 years, he was talking in sentences. Yes, I delayed when he was 4 because I couldn't accept by then.
Oh, you were looking for prophets.
Yes, I was looking for prophets who can change the condition. Then by 5 years, then he started, and then I could see the improvement. And then now I was so shocked that occupational therapists they can do this, speech therapists they can do this. Then we move on. Now he's doing
Didn't you
great.
get people asking you, but you are a doctor, why are you running around chasing prophets?
No, they didn't know, but I wrote about it in the book. They didn't know, and I could feel that now I understand why parents they delay bringing their children to us as healthcare professionals. This is what they did: denial. You know the phases of depression, denial, all
Yeah.
those phases that you go through. So I'm a human being after all. I'm not doctor. I was not born a doctor. I was a mom, so I need to play a role of a mom to him. So yeah.
Do you think there are adults that have mental conditions that are legitimate conditions that they need help for, but they're in denial?
Yes, yes, a lot. Or even when you go through divorce, it's a mental breakdown on its own. But fewer people they will accept
Get
and,
help.
and go and look for help. If you are at work and your boss, let's say your boss, he's always on your neck, always on your neck. Even when you woke up in the morning, you feel like I don't want to go to that place, but because of mine, it leads to depression.
Yeah.
It leads to mental illness.
Breakdown.
Yes, but people they won't realize that. In fact, there's this myth that when I'm going to the psychologist or a psychiatrist, it's like I'm mad. No, no, you are not. In fact, mental health care is important. You need to take care of your mental health care. Because once it's shut down mentally, everything physically, that's why you'll end up with the diabetes, those heart diseases, the hypertension, and so on. Because it started up there mentally.
I think the one thing that still stands out from what you've said is God didn't give you this yoke to bear alone.
Yes.
So get help. And there's always someone who can help you. And the other was, if you are going through this challenge, either it's with yourself or you've got a child that has this challenge, you can actually delay progress of the child by being in denial. I'm learning. I'm learning. All right. So you tell a beautiful story about how you became a doctor and now award-winning doctor. And it's a career that your mom chose for you. Funny enough. See, I picked that up. What happened there? Talk to us.
I was a smart child. Those child who get number one, number two. But
Yeah.
I didn't have that dream like my sister. As I'm telling you, by grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, she already knew that she wanted to be a doctor. I didn't have those dreams. Even my friend in primary school, they will tell you that, we never
playing.
heard you to fun about doctor. I've never. When I was starting now to do grade 11, I was like, I want to be a pilot. No, and then I look at the background, my home. No, I didn't dream that much about myself. So I'm just happy that my mom saw that this child is very smart, and she channeled me, because she started to get sick when I was doing matric in 1996.
Okay.
That's when she got to be diabetic, very very sick. But when I was now have to go to university.
Yeah.
I remember she woke up from her bed and used to sleep in the dining room because she was very ill. That day she woke up, she climbed the taxi, and I was like, I wonder where she's going. Only to find out she was going to Medunsa to collect the forms. And then there was a family friend, Humotso Kule.
Yeah.
She used to love him. She used to trust him. It was a boy around the area, and we took him as our brother. Then she went to him, and then she called him that, can you come and help assist me to complete this form? They completed the form, and she told Kumoto that, Pela, this one doesn't want to go to university. Then Kumoto said,
Why was she saying that? Had you expressed interest in something else?
she saw that even when she was talking about it, I would say, Mama, where will you get mine? I was looking at the background, my background, that Mommy won't afford a university. What would you use to pay? Because she's unemployed, she's sick. You see, this child who's disabled at home, we are not that rich at home, you know. So in university, I believe that it is people who are rich who are going there. So
You're saying
Khumuzo,
something scary, Doc, because I'm listening to you and thinking there's actually a child thinking that way even now.
yeah.
Good. I don't qualify there. That degree is not for people like me. It's for rich people.
And that's why a podcast like this one, they are needed to have people like us who have went through those roads and to change their mindset. To change their mindset that don't look at your background. Your background belongs to the past. And your future is in your hands. You can determine your future. So that's why I'm saying I'm grateful to my mom. And then when Komoto came, and then she was like, you are going to university. And we want you to pass, and we want you to pass with distinction. And I was like, but my little mom was with her type, and you were like, that's not your problem.
Who said that? That's a
Komoto,
powerful.
Yeah. Komoto and my mom, they said, that's not your problem. When I take your bags and you go there. And when I arrived at Medunsa, I met friends who were poor like me. Then I think I got courage there. That no, man. In fact, Mina, my poorness is better than this one's.
Yo.
We were poor. We didn't eat in cafeteria. When it's time to go and eat in lunchtime, we'll go to our rooms, mix kambeleni, water and sugar, just to have energy in the class. Then we go to the class. So surrounding myself with those friends who were also poor, it gave me more courage. And we did that. So I'm grateful to Vicky Lubisi. She's now a pediatrician. Craig Mamitela, who's a urologist. Those were my friends.
Those are big terms.
Yeah, those were my friends, and yeah, they were coming from a poor background, which they encouraged me. They might not know that they were encouraging me not to look back at home, but to go push forward.
The day they see this episode, they'll find that you saying, I found friends who were poorer than me. But that's a beautiful story because I know it will encourage someone. It could be a parent that has a child and they're feeling like, I can't dream of them having that career because where am I going to get the money? And to a child at varsity that realizes, once you're here, Oksala, in 4 years, in 3 years, you'll be out of here and you will have the certificate.
Yes. It's important to believe in yourself. It's important to believe in yourself and trust in yourself and put your hope to God.
So you got past the journey and you finished EE degree. How was the experience after that? Was it hard to pick yourself up in your career?
No, not at all. I remember we were the last group at Medunsa when Medunsa was going to change the name, so we had to graduate in December. So I was graduating on Saturday. Sunday, the truck from Temba Hospital was waiting for me to put my things, and I was coming here in Mpumalanga at Temba Hospital. That's where I started my internship, my community service. Then, yeah.
Hey, look at you now. Did Omama get to see the success that we see?
A little bit, because she passed on in 2012. So a little bit.
Must have been a really touching moment for her.
Yeah. I wish she could have seen that girl who was very quiet, now being on TV, doing great things, getting awards, you know. I wish she was here to celebrate with me, because I remember when I was starting at Kwala FM, I was giving a pediatric health talk shows there in the morning every Tuesday, and I will know that immediately when I finish to talk, I will get a call from her. So yeah, she was very, very proud of me. Every little thing that I will do, she will embrace it and take it very high.
You think parents play a big role in just giving their kids permission to fly by being there? The way your mom seems to have been, it's like she was there at every corner.
As parents, you need to play a great role. And you need to watch where your child, he or she is good at. and you channel them so that they don't lose the focus. So hence I'm saying I'm grateful that she realized that I am smart and she doesn't want to play with that smart child and make sure that she channel her. It's the same thing that I'm doing with my kids right now, especially my son with ADHD. I make sure that, okay, now I see that she's good in CAT, and then now I'm channeling him to be in the computer science. You know, he's good in soccer. I'm going to Sundowns and so on. I'm trying to pave waves for him. Wherever I see that he's good at this, and then I'm channeling him. So as a parent, play that role. Be there
And
for your
you
child.
make the time even as a doctor. I imagine your calendar and diary is not easy to move around. But it sounds to me like you're making the time. You're finding it somehow. Is it a matter of priorities? Or how are you doing it better than others?
I say lapho uthando lukhona nendlela ikhona. As long as you love something, you will find a way to do it.
That's beautiful.
So somebody when is coming to
Love will make a way.
Yes. So somebody when is coming with excuses not to come and see you, not to call you, they don't love you. If she loves you, for real,
You'll find a
you'll
way.
find a way.
Let's talk about the work that you're doing. Of the awards that you've won, I know you do a lot of radio talks, but of the awards which you've won, which one makes you the most proud?
I think it's the first award that I received in 2019. That was my first award in Durban as an influential woman, because I didn't see myself as influential by then. And I didn't see myself that I did so much in the healthcare industry that no woman in fact did it, because I'm the co-founder of National Healthcare Professional Association, which is the first association in South Africa to unite all healthcare professionals. You see, other association is doctors only, is dentists only, but
Yeah.
mine is inclusive
All of them.
all of us, so that we can understand ukuthi masikhuluma nge-biokinetics, what are they doing, and so on, and fighting for their rights. So the reason behind to start the association, it was the frustration that we are facing in the private sector, where the medical aid were bullying us, extorting money from the black practitioners.
Okay.
We are facing a very, very hectic time as healthcare professionals in private sector, and people, they didn't know about that. And I'm happy that I had to meet the previous Minister of Health, which was Aaron Motsoaledi. And in that meeting, he brought Dr. Kabane, which is the CEO of Medical Scheme. And that's when the Section 59 of Med Scheme was born. The
Okay.
one that was held by Advocate Ncukai Tobi. So I'm the woman behind that.
That is powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. I get why that one would make you most proud. That is powerful. It's
Yes.
inspiring indeed. All right, so let's talk about you want to start a podcast. Or you have started a podcast.
Yeah.
What I want anyone listening, because I want people to follow the podcast, because there is a beautiful vision behind what Dr. Pru wants to do. So what's the vision behind the podcast and all the things that you do and what you continue to share?
Okay, I will start by saying I love media. I love media so much, and sometimes I'm an actress. There are 2 movies that are coming that I'm an actor.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, but especially the health talk show, either educating my colleagues or educating the community. I love that, educating, because I believe that once you have knowledge, you will be able to prevent diseases. You'll be able to take care of yourself.
If you have knowledge, you take care of yourself. Okay,
Yes.
beautiful.
As even the Bible says that people with no knowledge, they perish. So you need to have knowledge. And what I've realized is that many patients, they will come, I will see them in the hospital. That's why I don't leave public sector. I love helping poor communities. I have also love of poor communities. So whenever you help them there, you realize this person has been on diabetic medication for 10 years. But when you ask why is sugar like a control, or like today, what did you eat? I ate pap and drank Coke. How? You are diabetic for 10 years, you've been taking medication, but why are you eating like that? They've never told me. Only to find they did tell him, but the language was a barrier. Hence, I started the health talk show that was called Ezempilo Zwamo Takalo, where I was speaking in indigenous languages, so that everyone can understand. Masithi diabetes, swikiri, bolwetse ba swikiri, ukugula kweshukela, sisho ini. So yeah, so I wanted to my people to understand the diseases in our own African languages, so that they can take good care of them. So even in that podcast, I will still continue with that, because I also have love and passion of people with disabilities. I will also want to show people that people with disabilities, they can do great things. They can do great things. I have a boy who's a cerebral palsy, it's called Humotso. I have Scado. Scado is on TV with cerebral palsy. So it doesn't limit them. They are also where they are good, and they are capable to do even better things more than us, who have 4 hands, 2 eyes, and yeah, but they can do better things than us.
That's beautiful. All right. So, what does it take in terms of mindset for them to get past the challenge, that the physical challenge that they have, and execute on their dreams?
Firstly, is that is the access to resources for them.
Okay.
If the government just make that they have access for and then resources for them, and then they can flourish. There's Subusiso Mohale, who also work with him in lots of projects. He is disabled with no arms, but
Okay.
he's running a farm. He has a farm.
Is
He's
it?
on TV. He was swimming. So they are capable. So those are the things that I want to give
Let
to the
people
community, so
see.
that they can see and learn that, hi man, people with disabilities, we don't have to hide them in the house. That's where they can excel and do well. There's also another guy in Gauteng. I might forget his first name.
Not a problem.
Yeah, he's studying in Joburg science. He's autistic, but he's studying in FEDS. So I'm happy to highlight those universities that they accommodate people with disabilities, of which is a good thing.
And I guess that applies to families as well, giving resources to those kids with challenges and not hiding them.
Yes, we don't need to hide them at home. It's time. Don't take them, because what I also realize, especially in Malokishin, is that Bapuma nabo only maguyi 15 when they are going to take the Sasaman. And they will end that Sasaman, then they go and put him back at home. Then Bona, they enjoy that money of Sasa. Please don't do that. Don't do that. They are human beings. They have feelings just like us. So if you go to the mall, go with him or her. Let him also, because also there's you know yourself, when you're sitting inside the house the whole day, you'll get depressed. But once you go to the mall, you see people, your brain also, so they also need that.
Do you think there is shame around it,
There is sometimes.
or it's a stigma?
This is a shame and a stigma that plays a major role on people ending up hiding them. Or like also the myth about the albino people who are with
Albinism,
who have
yeah.
albinism. You know that they can make a good muti. What muti? Because they are just a human being. It's just the skin tone that it's changed. You see, so now you have that child who has albinism. You now feel like, let me hide him or her because people that might kill them. Those things, we need to stop them as Africans. There's no muti that you can do. It's a human being like you know. So we need to to learn about them. What is albinism? What is causing it? What are the other challenges that they are facing at work? Those things we need to learn about them and be able to accommodate them in our own life. Masihamba siyoswima in Durban. Don't look at that. That's the look that we give to them. It's also making them feel like, you know,
There's something wrong
there's
with
something
me.
wrong. I also remember when growing up with my sister, we didn't feel the difference. You see, that's why I even felt like, why are they treating him special? Because at home, he's
We are
just
the
like
same.
us. You see. Then, but when we were walking with her to the shop or wherever we are going to visit my aunts, then the people, when they will look and then they will even want to fall. You know, why are they looking at us? You know, so that look, we must stop it. In churches, they need to understand what is ADHD, because I also have to stop going to church because my son has hyperactivity disorder. You cannot control a child who has ADHD. She's jumping, she's there, and at church they feel like you don't have the
What kind of parent are you
you,
to allow
yes,
this?
yes. So how can you allow you don't have control over your child? It's not like that. It's a child with ADHD that you need to also to accommodate in church places. Church is where we want to heal our hearts, but when now I have to hide at home, sit at home because my child, I cannot take control of him. So such things we need to learn a lot about them.
And this is what you'll be sharing in your podcast.
Yes.
Different conditions, what they mean, how to treat them,
Yes.
understanding your medicine.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And you're making it accessible in multiple languages.
Yeah.
Right. Last thing from me. Your health is your wealth. What does that mean to you as a doctor?
You know, when you were opening, you were right. If I'm a millionaire now, but I have diabetes, hypertension, now I have to spend
All the money.
all the money treating those things. If I am depressed and I'm not attending to my mental health, I'm not going to enjoy that money. And once you are very, very, very sick, bedridden, you won't enjoy that money that you have made. So make your health a priority. Take care and take a good care of your health. Taking a good care of your health is by visiting your healthcare professionals every year. Whenever you start to set your goals, you know, every year we set our goals. The first goal is visiting my doctor to check my BP, my sugar, my cholesterol, my prostate if you are a man, my breast as a female, and your cervix. Those are the important things to check
You're saying we check every year.
every year. Make it when you're taking
Does
that
this-
paper and writing your 2025 dreams and
Goals.
goals. The first one is your
Medical
health.
checkup.
Yes.
Is it not a case of once, because I was told for the most part, once you get to 40, that's when you need to be checking regularly.
There are
Does
those
this
things
apply
that
to
you
everyone?
yes, there are those things that, as we say now, you started at 40 to check them. Your PSA in a man, your mammogram at the age of 40, you do them. But the things like the numbers, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and then just the doctor to move the stethoscope on the heart, then it's fine. Make sure that you prioritize your health. Let your health be your priority.
Definitely. What are some of the mistakes you see Africans making in their diet?
We love junk food. We are so move away from the lokudla okutshalwayo, your vegetables and so on. We love burgers, fried chips and so on. And those things, they're the one that they are causing more damage to our health.
What kind of damage are they
causing-
causing? Maybe you can scare us enough.
One is the cancer.
Oh.
Cancers, they are from the food that we eat. That is wrong. Diabetes, high cholesterol, hypertension, obesity, because obesity is one of the chronic
It's a
diseases, but
condition.
people, they don't know. They say I'm an African when I'm like this. But yeah, another topic for another day.
Another day, definitely.
So yeah, we really need to go back, Siochala, and have a small garden behind your house where you have your vegetables and just eat healthy. Try to avoid those junk food.
Out of curiosity, are you saying if I have one or two per week takeout meals, it's still bad?
At least let it be once off when you are happy, you know. Give 15 more holiday. Let it be there, but not every time. But you see right now, because we have money, every time when mama goes those shop, she buys takeaways, bring it home. Every time, every day. Even kids, they know that, no, Monday is pizza, Tuesday it's a burger. No, let's go back and cook food ourselves and be careful what food are we taking, the sugar levels in that juice that you are drinking, eating. You know, you need to start to take care of those things. If you don't know if the food has too much carbohydrates, it has too much fat, you don't know those things, there are people we call dietitians. You go, you visit them to teach you more properly about food.
And generally, how to cook the food.
Yes. Because there's food that you are not supposed to overcook. Once you overcook, you remove the nutrients and the proteins in that. So you have to have cook it, those things. But only the dietitian, they will teach you much better about that. So we must make use of the dietitians.
Last, I know I said last one. I'm thinking of something now. What advice do you have for the elderly in terms of lifestyle?
You don't need to start things at the elderly. The sooner you start, the better. Start exercising right now. Right now. Exercise.
So you're saying at whatever age you are,
Start exercising and make it your lifestyle. You cannot, because we tend to use, our brain is used to. I cannot at the age of 50 think that I'll go back and start to exercise if I've never exercised at my early 20s. So make it a healthy lifestyle.
A priority.
A priority, your life. You exercise daily, you eat healthy, you sleep, you get enough sleep, because we need our sleep. So you must do them. Don't wait until elderly. Elderly, you will be starting to have knee pains. You'll be now having, in fact, the excuses of not going to exercise. The backache, you know, all those things. So don't start and wait until
don't
you're
wait
elder.
until
No.
it's late.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pru. Where do people find the book?
Okay, they can get
Fortitude.
it. They can get it from me or on Amazon. When you want it from me, they can just dial 076 1479 524. That's my WhatsApp number, and I respond to WhatsApp very, very well. Not to email, so I'm not going to bother to give you email. I don't respond to emails.
And how will they find the podcast and the lives that you do and all the events where you
The
educate
events,
people
okay.
on their health and
On Facebook, every last Thursday of the month, I do book reviews. Every Thursday of the last month,
Yeah.
I do
book reviews on Facebook?
and especially with the authors of South African authors. And yeah, that's where I do also personality development. Beside the book reviews, there's more personality development. So don't miss that. And it's on Facebook, it's for free. And so on Facebook, I'm Prudence Buthelezi. And on YouTube, you can go and check me there. I'm Dr._Pru. And also,
We'll put the link to the YouTube.
yes. And then on Instagram also, I'm Dr._Pru. And then on YouTube, I'm Prudence Buthelezi. So you'll find me there.
Thank you so much. You heard it yourself. Your health is your wealth. And I think if you've taken anything from this one, is that a lot of the diseases, we are not aware that stress can induce them and that your diet can induce them. So be careful with how you live your life, because you don't want to chase your dream and use all of that money to fix all the health problems that you accrue along the way. Thank you for joining us till this time, and remember to share the episode with someone you know will need to hear and listen to this advice. See you on the next episode.
Thank you.